Welcome to News Alert on Capital Television.
In spite of the ban on the sale of alcoholic beverages at lorry parks by the Ghana police about 2 years ago, the practice rather seems to be on the increase, with more drinking spots springing up at transport terminals. The directive, since being announced, has been flouted by many largely because of lack of enforcement. The directive was meant to help curb the increasing rate of road accidents, many of which are attributed to driving under the influence of alcohol. A visit by Capital TV News to some of the lorry stations at Kaneshie, Tudu and Kwame Nkrumah Circle revealed that instead of drinking joints reducing, more have sprung instead. At the Kwame Nkrumah Circle stations alone, we counted more than 7 such joints selling mostly hard liquor, including akpeteshi, Prekese bitters, cocoa and other aphrodisiac, which are patronized by drivers and passengers alike. The branch chairman for Kaneshie to Kumasi bus station, Mr. Kweku Amwa, expressed his preparedness to cooperate with the authorities to ensure that there are no drinking spots at his station.
Bad no say abuse station. I trust my drivers no konomunsa. Because driving you cry the load them. Load no to be fan no konomunsa no. Who be a okra we station ground say be a driver now konom. Be us if I can share my station. Others,
however, told us there wasn't much they could do to stop the drivers without the help from law enforcement agencies.
More drivers na bisu enu alcohol nti yen station master yen leaders wa hanum no de ye mo mo kwan mo no nsa no mfanya adwuma de aye no aye kwan wa hanum no ase ne aye banyamanya wa hanum nti no yentimi check saniama no.
Some of the alcohol vendors also spoke to us.
Drivers no trotro drivers no mo pon a almost no bebre na edede da ha sinti mo pon no mo ba etade.
Another driver who spoke to us revealed that drinking on the job has become a normal practice for some of his colleagues.
Oh, Dabi. Oh, binum bi. No kwede okay. Oh, sir, enye se obernum nsan akanka akura ankasa.
As the two largest economies in West Africa, the relationship between Nigeria and Ghana is a crucial one for the region. Trade ties are particularly important, and Nigeria's high levels of liquidity serves as an important source of capital for Ghana. But with the Ebola disease spreading so fast among countries in West Africa, and taking into consideration that the Ebola epidemic is in Nigeria, Capital TV News sought to ascertain what the country is doing at its border with Nigeria to make sure the disease isn't transported. We asked drivers who travel the Ghana-Nigeria road if they encountered a screening point on their way into the country.
There's an outbreak of Ebola in Lagos, but it has not gone to, out of control yet. But then, nobody screened us at the border. We come into Ghana as we went and go out as we want. Nobody screen us, nobody screen our passengers, nobody screen anybody at the border. We come in every day, we go out every day.
Yeah, Ghana border had here. Yeah, share any problem here, even all the borders. But semen I meet me I say Nigerian border na sometimes say any problem, but and share any too much. So who follow procedures now, rules and regulations now, will not be any problem. Into no border na semen there. To say maybe yare na semen no more cano. Me share that Bibi aba okwan so ama edi ehu abehye nipemu se maybe face some problem bi.
The drivers added that since authorities confirmed the death of medical staff through the Ebola virus in Nigeria, travelers are scared to embark on trips, be it for business or pleasure, and that more education and sensitization is needed to allay the fears.
There's no awareness. They don't educate our drivers at all. Even the whole lorry park, I don't think we have not had any education or any awareness in the motor park.
and we are the people conveying people from one place to another. So I think Ministry of Health has something to do more about the lorry park.
Some medicine vendors have resorted to marketing their wares to passengers in commercial vehicles at various lorry stations, but who verifies the efficacy of these drugs? In an interview with Capital TV News, the vice chairman of the Swedro Apam and Winneba GPRTU says selling of drugs in vehicles is unacceptable and the GPRTU disapproves it. He explained that measures have been put in place to stop the drug vendors from selling their wares in the cars and will make sure vendors who flout these measures would be dealt with.
We have come out with a policy not to allow them to sell medicine in moving vehicles. So what they do is when the vehicles are at the station loading, they secretly go into the vehicle to talk about the medicines they are selling without our knowledge.
Capital News team chanced on a drug vendor at the Kaneshi Lorry station who disclosed that although they do not have license, they undergo training from registered pharmacists who also supply them with the drugs.
Na debia mewaha said the medi kankan ye no ubisa say adentina ya menton e wo shop mu de tiene say enye ye nyina ane ebenya sika abi shop ena meka say bi nso na obi nso no ma obehia ade yi bi ne senti ye kofa free shop na ye de aba meka say menwa kwantufo enye obia ana watwa ticket awie a obetima den asesi from say okọ shop akwakoto ade kra ihia no etie mom ya de bahanom say in case say omu hia bi na omu atwa ticket nti omu ntime enkonkofa ne shop a ye de abra omu ewa hanom.
A driver at the station lamented that he loses focus on driving when a drug vendor boards his vehicle to market their drugs. He continued that he only allows them when the vehicle has stopped but dismisses them immediately he moves the car.
Aton wo mu ade bet say ye kode a ye ma won kwan say wo mu beginim nti me say de me hu say wo ginem a mesiu.
Some passengers also expressed their concern about the health implications these drugs may have caused on consumers, while others testify that drugs bought in vehicles have worked for them in the past.
Stops the driver, and sometimes the medicine too are not genuine, and it will have an infection on the people.
And for me personally, I don't normally buy drugs in vehicles. Yeah, if I like to buy a drug, what I need to do is that I'll go to my physician for him to prescribe medicine for me. Yeah, that's what I do. But then
the introduction of the new prepaid meters in Ghana for all houses in the country to have a system where consumers of electricity are provided with flexible and secured means of transferring credit through the use of radio frequency identification, communication identification, as well as user-friendly keypad interface. The system, introduced to both the rural and urban areas across the country, is to help consumers track their consumption and check electricity theft. Recently, the government of Ghana ordered that all government houses in the country should join the prepaid system. Capital TV News took to the streets of Accra to ascertain whether this directive has been adhered to. However, a visit to several government houses revealed that they have not yet joined the new system. Residents of most of the government houses we visited refused to comment on the issue on camera, but told the news team off camera that migrating onto the new system will not be convenient for them.
Franklin Kujo, head of Imani Ghana, has called for close scrutiny of the Komenda Sugar Factory deal. President Mahama recently cut short for work to begin on the reconstruction of the sugar factory. The initiative, financed by the government of Ghana and the Exim Bank of India, is expected to generate employment for 400 people, with 2,000 others benefiting indirectly from the factory's operation. Mr. Kujo, in a statement, said although reviving the sugar factory is good in principle, government ought to have done proper feasibility studies about the viability and sustainability of the project before signing the deal with India. He said interactions with top global executives of a group with interest in agriculture, sugar and fertilizers with accumulated wealth of $61 billion revealed that studies done on the soil and viability of the Komenda Sugar project revealed discrepancies concerning the feasibility of the project. Mr. Kujo contends per the evaluation of the investors, the Komenda Sugar factory should have been situated in the Brong-Ahafo region, which has the best soil for sugarcane production.
This is what I have to say about the whole project. First of all, my view was that discussion about the Brong-Ahafo was about location and whether the Komenda or even the Secretary was adequate or the proper place to do a plantation of that magnitude right now. And you see, over time, don't forget that several decades back, the Komenda and the rest were suggested. But over time, the quality of the soils have deteriorated. The water table, the water profile, all of these things have deteriorated. So if you really want to have a project of that magnitude, you don't want to overlook the fact that the soil capacity and its nutrients and its value would pose some danger.
A group led by the Nifahene representing Osaberuma Eduse Piasa, chief of Achimtafo, have paid a courtesy call to the management of Capital TV to express gratitude to the station for its support during the Uhum Festival, which was recently celebrated in the Eastern region. The festival attracts many from all over the country, including politicians and celebrities from the nation's entertainment industry. Capital TV made it a policy to support as many festivals as possible as part of the Capital Cares program. Capital Cares is our corporate social responsibility platform with which we support various culturally significant programs to boost tourism in the country. CEO of Capital TV, Ricky Anoche, receiving a gift of appreciation, said that the station is intent on solving problems and not just talking about them.
Israeli military aircraft have killed 3 top Hamas commanders in southern Gaza, inflicting a heavy blow on the movement's armed wing after failing to kill its top military chief. Thursday's attack came a day after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel's military offense in the Gaza Strip may be an extended operation. The Izzuddin al-Qassam Brigade, Hamas's military wing, confirmed that Mohammed Abu Shamale, Raid al-Attar, and Mohammed Barhoum have been killed in an Israeli airstrike on Rafah. The slain commanders have been accused by Israel in the kidnapping of its soldier, Gilad Shalit, who was freed in 2011 under a prisoner swap deal with Hamas. The military wing of Hamas had come out with very defiant statements, including warning international airlines not to fly into Israel's Ben Gurion airport. Hamas is seeking an end to a 7-year Israeli-Egyptian blockade that has battered Gaza's economy, while Israel wants guarantees that Hamas will disarm. Fighting resumed on Tuesday after a week-long truce in Gaza collapsed, with both sides blaming each other after Palestinian fighters launched rockets into Israel and Israel attacked terror sites inside the besieged enclave. Police in the Liberian capital have fired live rounds and tear gas to disperse a stone-throwing crowd trying to break an Ebola quarantine imposed on their neighborhood as the death toll from the epidemic in West Africa hit 1,350. In the West Point neighborhood of Monrovia, at least 4 people were injured in clashes with security forces. Liberian authorities introduced a nationwide curfew on Tuesday and put the West Point neighborhood under quarantine to curb the spread of the disease. The World Health Organization said that the countries hit by the worst ever outbreak of the deadly virus were beginning to suffer shortages of fuel, food and basic supplies after shipping companies and airlines suspended services to the region. Liberia, where the death toll is rising fastest, said its Ministry of Health warehouse has run out of rubber boots and bottles of hand sanitizers essential for preventing the spread of the disease. Still struggling to recover from a devastating 1989 to 2003 civil war, Liberia recorded 95 deaths in 2 days. Witnesses said the clashes in West Point started after security forces early on Wednesday blocked roads to the neighborhood with tables, chairs and barbed wire. Residents said they were not warned. Attempts to isolate the worst affected areas of the country and neighboring Sierra Leone have raised fears of unrest in one of the world's poorest regions. In an effort to calm tensions, authorities on Wednesday started delivering tons of rice, oil and essential foodstuff to West Point. The World Food Programme has begun emergency food shipments to quarantine areas where 1 million people may be at risk of shortages. U.S. aircraft have launched fresh strikes against Islamic State militants in northern Iraq, despite threats from the group to kill a second American captive in retribution for continued attacks. U.S. Navy fighters and drones provided air cover to Kurdish and Iraqi forces battling IS near the city of Mosul. On Tuesday, the group released a video showing the beheading of journalist James Foley, who went missing in 2012. In it, the militants threatened to kill another U.S. reporter they are holding. But since the video was released, American forces have conducted 14 new strikes near the Mosul Dam, a key facility recaptured from IS militants earlier this week. The raids provided air cover as Kurdish and Iraqi forces pushed into the hills southwest of the site. U.S. officials say they have successfully eliminated vehicles and other targets belonging to IS. U.S. President Barack Obama has said the beheading of U.S. journalist James Foley is an act of violence that shocks the conscience of the entire world, but pledged to continue to do what must be done to confront the Islamic State militants. The UN, UK and others have also expressed abhorrence at the video. The internet has gone viral with videos of celebrities and other popular personalities taking the Ice Bucket Challenge and daring others to do same. Celebrities such as Kevin Hart, D-Rock, Michael Essien, Mario Balotelli and billionaire Bill Gates have all taken the challenge. The ALS campaign is an effort to raise awareness on amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, where participants dump a bucket of ice-cold water on themselves and then dare 3 others to do the same. Failure to answer the challenge attracts a fine of $100 given to the ALS Association. The Ice Bucket Challenge went viral on social media after a U.S. baseball player and ALS patient, Pete Freight, floated the idea of the challenge in a video on a social networking site. More than 1.2 million videos have been shared on Facebook so far. The challenge has also been mentioned more than 2.2 million times on Twitter. According to the ALS website, it has so far received nearly $23 million.
Accept the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge for being right. Oh, shit! God damn it, man. God! I challenge you, LeBron James, D. Wade, and Gabrielle Union. Woo!